Get ready for the Terry Podcast, where real conversations meet in the middle. Now, here's your host, Terry.
Thanks for tuning in one more time to the Terry Podcast, where good conversation meets in the middle of the road to get some straightening or understanding. Well, the 2024 election is now over, and your new president is President Trump. Let me just say, I'm not a supporter of Trump. I want to say that up front. I'm not a supporter of Trump, and I felt like just the whole political process for me was horrible. Both of these candidates for me offered nothing of tangible to the black community. He spoke about immigration, which I agree on, legalizing immigration, and other things that didn't apply to me. So I couldn't give him my vote. She spoke about abortion. The Democrats also alienated black men from the conversation, and it was a joke for her to do her proposal for black men and say, black businesses, I'm going to give you this, but along with, this is how much money I'm going to give to black businesses and others. Okay. Here we go again. Now, remember, she said, I'm not going to do anything just for black people without it benefiting everybody. Yet immigration does not benefit me. You funding immigration does not benefit me. LGBTQ does not benefit me. So we know that's a lie. But let me go down the line to tell you, I was a Democrat over half my life, voted for Obama twice, donated to his campaign because I believed that he was going to come in and make a difference. And what I found out, it was the same old playbook. Different quarterback for the Democrats who have practiced saying, I'm not going to do anything to help the black community, but I will galvanize you for your vote. Now, I want people to understand how important it is to start reading policies. I explained to you before how we got tricked into civil rights till we made a stand with the bus boycott, which was very, very powerful, got us to the table, gave us the bill. And before we could get out the room, hey, come on back in here. Look, look, our women, which it wasn't our women. They were talking about white women. Women are minorities. They have civil rights. Gay people need to have civil rights. And we like, oh, okay, cool. By the time they got done loading the bill, it was not even for our struggle. It was for everybody else. So I'm saying to us, when do we stop fighting the fight for everybody else when nobody fights for us? Nobody's stepping up and saying, hey, the black community is owed reparations. Keep in mind the two last survivors of Tulsa, of Black Wall Street, were denied reparations by the Biden administration and the Democrats. Let that sit in your spirit just a little bit. See, you're Democratic, so you want to tell me how racist Trump is, but the policies are being practiced here with the Democrats. So that's one bird to me. It's just when it spreads its wings, I can't separate the wings from the bird. I can't. But let me get down to it. This was a bad sale on all levels, on so many levels for the Democrats, okay? Here's a person who had constantly been sworn in as East Asian. East Asian. First East Asian. But when she needed to run for a political office and became VP, she became black. She became a soul sister who cooked collard greens and cornbread, and she cleaned her collard greens in a bathtub. if you don't know nothing else about black folks, we don't eat anybody's cooking. So when you mention you cook some food or you clean it in a tub, nah, you ain't from where we from, because we don't do that. We never come to your house. Now you keep them collard greens, we good. I'm not that hungry. I'm not that hungry. So you keep those collard greens. Look, guys, we got to wake up. We got to remember that this is all to pull your emotions in. And you forget to even ask about policies. I had people I talked to who would just, hey, I'm about abortion. So I go look up the abortion bill. Where's mine? I go look up to the abortion bill that they were putting on the table, and it had everything in there from transgender surgery and sex, race. Okay, it's not really even talking about abortion. See, they'll take a bill and shoot it at you when you go look up the bill, like with Kamala Harris. Oh, this message to black men. You had what's his name? You had Van Jones. Oh, Mamala loves us. Mamala, she heard the cries of black men. She's going to give $1 million for black businesses. She's going to give forgivable loans to black businesses and others. You're dead in the water with that. So black men just said, hey, we done. We done. When you say black men don't lead, we do. Our black women just get in the way. Then when we lead, oh, you're misogynist. You don't want a woman in charge. Go back and look up the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks was a woman. We got behind her. The civil rights movement worked so well because it was black men and black women working together. The powers that be, the dominant society, they saw that and said, you know what? We got to break that up. So that's when this feminist movement, as you saw with Kamala and finger shaking Barack Obama, to black men, instead of saying, hey, black men, what do you want? What are we not doing to get your attention? You don't come in with a problem. If there's a fire, to put the fire out, what do? You bring water. Hey, let me dump it down. Now, let me find out the cause of the fire. They don't do that with black men. It's black men, the brothers, and the brothers and black men seem to not want a woman in charge. And no. We ain't going to play that game. We're not. If the person applying for the job is not a good fit for the job, then that becomes a problem, because again, I'm not voting just for abortion rights. Yeah, I have a daughter. I'm concerned about other young ladies having the rights over their bodies, but that's not black men having that conversation. Those lawmakers up there are white. The majority of lawmakers, these are men passing those laws that women can't do this with their bodies. Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade never bothered me. It's not bothering men in the black community. That's her right if she wants to get an abortion. Now, I think it should be with guidelines, because there are some people, again, it may get to being looked upon as it could be murder, because you're having babies and your out is, oh, I can just go get an abortion. We don't want that. If there was something happened where the woman got there was a medical reason, there was a rape, God forbid. No, she has every right to say, I don't want to carry this baby to term for reasons that would, emotionally do things to me. Or if I cannot provide for the child, then we need to have that conversation. But the first thought is, how about not getting pregnant? Because that's your choice. If you don't want to get pregnant, do the things, use the protection in place. So let's go back. I want black folks to remember these names: Charlemagne the God, Van Jones, the crying guy. Oh, we had to take the keys from daddy. Man, I'm not crying about taking no keys from a 90-year-old man who shouldn't be on the road driving. D.L. Hewley, the not so smart guy. He just does not get it. He just poor DL. Poor DL. I've tried to get his brother a chance over and over again. Ricky Smiley, same, just does not get it. See, you got to realize these people are elevated because they've been bought and paid for by the liberal media. They're not going to ever come. Remember, Ricky Smiley wanted you to vote for her because that's it. She's a sorority member and he's in a fraternity, the Boulay Society. He didn't talk any policy. And if y'all don't vote for her, y'all just this and y'all this. I'm not proud of, I don't have no allegiance to your fraternity and your sorority when it comes to my community. Because you know what? Y'all are not as a whole involved in our communities. Let me go to the next name, Steve Harvey. We can go past him because he's told you, there's an alley hoop. There's an alley hoop. We ain't going to have no, this a setup. This alley hoop. Angela Rye. Confused. LeBron James, I'm very disappointed, but I'm not surprised. Don Lemon, Uncle Roro, the Boulay Whisperer, the booty shaker, because he's at every party trying to, hola, come on in. You know, he's trying to get everybody motivated for what? And when you ask, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? He can't tell you. You just need to vote, a damn fool. You just need to vote. You just need to vote. Now you're trying to get smart. I would want an informed voter. It's like if you're listening to this show, I want you to be informed. I don't want you to leave here without any information, whether you agree or disagree. My job is to give you the information. Now, here's some honorable mentions. Out of my city, Glorilla, I love your music. You're out of Memphis. I'm out of Memphis. And I don't say music or whatever you say. We don't say that. But that's your thing. I'm with you. Don't let them use you for politics. Okay? Don't let them use you. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, Kelly, and a host of others tried to sell us sand to take to the beach. Now, the beach is full of sand. They were handing you buckets. Here you go. What I need this for? To take to, it's already sand at the beach. It's already water at the beach. But that's their job. Now, Malcolm X spoke about this 30 years ago. No other group has entertainers and athletes as their spokespersons. I'm not a financial guy. You know, I know how to control my finances. But if there's an issue of economics, I don't need to be in the room. I know politics well enough to have the conversation and have common sense. So politics is not always that they try to give you these levels. Well, you got the House, you got the Senate, you know, you got a lot of the three branches, the this. Now, when they want to do what they want to do, they don't go through none of that. When they start cutting checks to anti-hate Asian law, that bill was passed fast. Anti-Semitic law, fast. LGBTQ, they didn't go through the House and the Senate. Oh, okay. But we're told of we got to jump through all these hoops to get any money. So when we ask for anything, we don't have it. We don't have it. I mean, budget's tight, inflation. It's just bad. It's bad for business. We just don't have the money. And what happens is we turn around during an election. Let me give you guys some numbers. They raised $361 million in August. They surpassed Trump. Swamping, he raised $130 million. And it gave the Democrats a total of $404 million in cash reserves for the final 2 months, sprint of the election. That's what our aides announced. Wow. Imagine if the Democrats came together for the inner city when we asked for something. Just say, hey, we're going to raise $400 million for black businesses and we'll throw on another 400. Or we'll meet in the middle. We'll raise that. We'll go to corporations. We'll go to, again, people who stepped in, who we do not see in our communities, helping our communities every day. Now, let me go to the gatekeepers. AKA the Boule, the Divine Nine. Y'all wanted so much attention. Here we go. I don't see you. I don't know you. I don't see you in communities doing anything. Now, they've stepped in as though they were God, sitting up high, watching slavery go on, killings, you name it. And they come down and raise all this money. I got one question. Where y'all been? They raised all this money just to do what? For catfish, nuggets, some cornbread, collard greens, and a chance to twerk with Roland Martin. Black America, if you're white and you're listening, I have nothing against. I'm not racist. Let me explain it. I don't even have the power to be racist. But let me say this to our black communities. We have got to do better. We have got to hold accountable the leaders or the so-called leaders who are thrown in front of us. Right now, again, the Divine Nine and all these organizations raised, if I'm not mistaken, the Beyonce concert raised $30-40 million for a one-day event, which Beyonce came in for 4 minutes. Again, no disrespect to Beyonce. I'm not taking political advice from you. Economics now, I'll take that from you because you and Jay-Z doing pretty good. So we'll roll with that. I'll sit down and have that conversation with you. But to come up on a candidate and her only play to the black community was abortion. And I'll go back to Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri asked, well, I want to know what's going to be different. What happened? When he asked that question, which was a fair question, Roland Martin got at him immediately and made him backtrack. Hey, what you mean? Tell him what you was really trying to say. Jermaine Dupri said what he said. Hey, people are wondering what's going to be different about your candidacy. You know, your campaign that's different from Joe Biden, which you've sat there for 4 years. And obviously you can't answer any questions. Every time you ask a question from her, hey, what's going to be different? What are you going to do about inflation? What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? Well, my mother was a proud woman, and my sister and I remember her pushing me in a stroller to the civil rights movement. And, and you like, okay, look, Kamala, I'm past the laugh, and you've been sitting there for 4 years and you can't give me any information, then I don't know if this is a job for you. I can answer those questions. If a teleprompter goes off, I can answer that. Now, let's go further. That was a low turnout because people were dissatisfied. Most people like me voted for the couch because we heard no substantial policies from either side, especially the Democrats, doing nothing, doing the same thing. Trump got a large percentage of the Hispanic voters. Dig that. The Hispanic voters said they weren't concerned about immigration. Yeah, they said they weren't concerned about it. So they voted for Trump. They were good. And his stance on immigration is what it is. So that tells me that the Democrats did not do a great job of messaging, which they announced that they're making it like, well, we didn't really do a great job messaging. What it was they ignored the black community, their base. Black men told them, black women told them, we're not going for that. You're going to break bread with us. If you don't want to break bread, we're going to keep it rolling. We good. We'll figure it out. Black folks have always done what? Figure it out. Now, this is a convicted felon, I think 34 convictions, who shouldn't have been allowed to run. So now I know it's going to be some new laws now for people who got convictions. Hey, you guys should have freedom to do whatever. It should be white. The Democrats should come back now and say, hey, for felony convictions, you get your voting rights back. You get that erased from your record. You can get the jobs of your dream, because a felon won. So that sets a precedent. That's one. Now, I'm saying to black folks, you just got played in an emotional game that drains all of your energy, and it's all for nothing. Because if you don't understand policy, guess what happens? You can't hold them accountable. I had people telling me, hey, just let them get in. See, once they get in, then we'll ask for something. You can't do that. Because the candidate can say, hey, I didn't know you were going to ask me for all that. I can't do that. I can't. You have to ask up front. What are you running on? What policies? We're dealing with economics. People are having conversations at the dinner table. I can't afford my medication. I can't afford child care. Economics is my neighborhood is going down due to crime. The cost of living pay has not met up with the everyday person. This is real conversation. So when the Democrats come and ignore all of that, one thing Trump is going to do, he's going to make it good for these corporations. That's why he's got Elon Musk sitting over there, because now these corporations get to make moves. But when the Democrats get in power, they do nothing but focus on propaganda or LGBTQ or immigration, and not realizing we don't want illegal immigration. Gay rights should not supersede black civil rights. We're fighting for a crime bill, and you give us nothing. A young man was just hung in Alabama because he filed charges against the police department. Black folks don't take ropes and go out in the woods and hang themselves. No. But you have not heard anything about it from the Democrats. And I'm pointing at the Democrats because that's the party that we've supported as black folks, which we should have cut them loose a long time ago. Let me say this. This is our Selma. This is where black folks made a move with Rosa Parks. Back to this. And for 1 year, I think 64 to 65, they did not get on those buses. And the United States government had to say, hey, go down there and see what those black folks want, because they're crashing the economy. Like even now, we have the power to crash an economy, but black folks don't want to fight for anything. I always get a bunch of our people saying, hey, everybody got to get something. No, everybody don't have to get, because we never get nothing. So why are you saying that? When they say everybody got to get something, you know what happens for us? We get nothing. By the time, the government says, hey, we gave money out to the black and brown. What? Yeah, the Hispanics got this. Minority women got this. Oh, okay. Well, we ran out of money. Why can't we get a bill for black folks? And why are black folks okay with not getting anything for their vote? So let me sum it up. Today, what will tomorrow look like for America? I can tell you, it's the same agenda. It's the rich will keep getting richer and the poor will stay poor, because that's why you're poor. You think like a poor person. You overspend. You don't learn policies. And conversation shakes you. So whenever I talk to somebody about policy, they try to throw it back on me. Well, you getting emotional. I'm not getting emotional. I'm having a conversation with you. I'm not. Well, you need to vote. See, if I vote, what? If I don't vote, what? You don't vote. It's like, would you go to work for free without having an agreement with that company to say you're hiring me at what rate? This is my insurance. This is my 401k. This is my stock investment. You're not going, hey, you just need to go to work. But just go to work. Don't worry about it. They'll figure your payout as you go along. Good luck. Good luck. Because if you work 5 days and they say, well, we saw you only work 2 days, so we paid you for that. Well, I signed in. What signed in paper? We didn't. They can come up with all kind of nonsense on what they have that days you work versus what your agreement in the clock should say. That's why you get an agreement in place when a job hires you. You have to sign off on paperwork. You have to get payroll information, your banking information, where you can go check your hours to make sure your pay matches up with what you put in. If you take nothing else from this race, this was black people's Selma moment. And I'm going to say this. The biggest reason the Democrats dropped the ball on this, instead of selling Kamala Harris as a woman, an East Indian woman, to show the diversity of America, that an East Indian woman can come on board and get here and become the president, they had to make her black. They had to make her black, soul sister number one, collard greens, cornbread, and it backfired on them because she's never identified as black. She identified as East Indian because they knew white America would never accept an immigrant being in the White House. So that's why, my opinion, that they had to black her up. Chucks and pearls. Hip hop music. Black folks, are we easily that swayed or that, I'm just going to say it's stupid. When I can go look up, I'm Terry Harris. I'm from Memphis, but I go to Atlanta and run for office. Oh, I'm from Atlanta. They're going to be, you ain't from Atlanta. You just moved here. Oh, no. I'm from Atlanta. No, you ain't from Atlanta. You visiting. You running for office now that you're in Atlanta, but you're visiting. They would correct me and they would have every right to correct me because I'm not from Atlanta. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I relocated to Atlanta and I ran for office once I was available to run for office in Atlanta. That's just an example. So again, if you've gotten this far, thank you again for tuning in to the Terry Show. As I say in closing, this is where good conversation meets in the middle of the road. And what we'll be doing soon. Wait a minute. Before I sign out, wait a minute. I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. We grew up together. This is a cup with Prince on it. I'm a big Prince fan. He, Moselle Arts. He's on Facebook and definitely look him up. Moselle Arts, Mosal, Moselle Arts on Facebook. And you can order these mugs just like this from the Prince Show. And let me get a good shot of it, man. This is, I had to get this and support small businesses. And also, if you want to advertise on the show, hit me up, inbox me for advertisement information. We are getting ready to run advertisement and thank all the people who follow the show, who call in to me and say, hey, man, I love the show. When is the next episode? And again, I'm starting new. So to you, when you see 800, 900 or 1,000 people on a post for me, this is new for me. So that if I engage one people, if I engage 10, then I'm doing my job. Because I want to build a relationship with the public to where if there are issues you want me to talk about, inbox me about those issues and we'll talk about them. And definitely we're going to look at bringing guests on the show where you'll be able to call in and we can have a great conversation. So thank you once again for tuning in to the Terry podcast. And I'm signing out. And as always, thank you guys for just tuning in. Peace. Got to get you one. Moselle Arts on Facebook, Moselle Arts, and you can order this. All right.